Hello and welcome to The Frame. We start this week with the school committee's meeting on Wednesday, March 4th, as the group made their final request for Framingham Public Schools' budget for the 2027 fiscal year, about $190.5 million, just over $1 million above what Mayor Charlie Sisitsky had established as a target. It's the culmination of a months-long process that has seen local officials work towards developing a budget plan, one that has seen multiple revisions to try and meet the roughly $190 million goal set by Sisitsky and his administration, community pushback to layoffs within the school district, discussions about enrollment counts dropping by hundreds district-wide, and votes to preserve other education salaries. FPS officials recently outlined a plan that would save close to $5 million through 84 salary eliminations, 59 of which would consist of either known retirements with no replacements, currently vacant roles, or jobs where the person employed would be shifted elsewhere. Still, that left 25 possible layoffs. Last week, school committee members voted to approve 30 salary eliminations across the district's schools, central office, and buildings and grounds team. That left 54 full-time roles on the block leading into Wednesday, as more public comments from school committee members, students, and adults alike urged officials to preserve jobs related to things like languages, drama, chorus, history, and special education.
This is the year Framingham must demonstrate that our strategic priorities are not words on paper, but commitments backed by action. Students are counting on you to lead accordingly.
After hearing details and reasonings on the proposed cuts from principals across the district, the school committee voted to preserve funding for 3 roles out of those 54, special education and behavioral analyst roles at Stapleton Elementary, as well as a district-wide communications specialist position, along with a $50,000 cut to an HR referral bonus program that could now end in the current fiscal year. The other 51 salaries were removed, bringing the final budget request to just shy of $190.5 million. The vote to make that request passed by a 7-2 vote. Lorena Tovar of District 2 and District 7's Kyle Shepard were the opposing votes. District 6 committee member Adam Freudberg said there's rationale behind the group's decision to go above Sisitsky's number based on the positions that have been preserved in the final request. While Shepard was appreciative of the work that's been done by principals and other officials to develop the pitch, he's still worried about its ramifications.
I'm really impressed with the thoroughness of this team and how we are working to dive into the questions. And I'm sure we are not asking every single question that those watching on TV wants to ask. I get that. But we are doing what we can during this crisis to mitigate the risk.
What I'm concerned with is they weren't told, make your school as good as possible. They were told hit this number, right? And they hit this number with minimal damage. I'm confident that they did that, right? I'm not confident that it isn't going to do severe damage to the quality of education despite their best efforts.
Sisitsky will be presenting his full municipal operating budget, including the school funding figures, to the City Council in the near future. Before then, a public budget hearing will be held on Monday, March 30th. More details on that meeting will be announced beforehand. Framingham State University's campus master plan was unveiled to the City Council during their meeting this Tuesday, March 3rd. The university's Board of Trustees approved the $486 million plan back in January, according to the Gaypost, FSU's student newspaper. This week, Framingham State President Dr. Nancy Niemi told local legislators that their proposals include investing in learning opportunities, educational spaces, and open areas, while still ensuring that the campus fits into the rest of Framingham.
The strategic priority that is most important to us is that we are excellent partners for the city and the region. And the plan we're showing you tonight is one of the ways that we will intend to be better partners for everybody.
Specifically, the plan looks to focus on the so-called heart of the campus by the McCarthy Center on State Street. Niemi said FSU officials have considered things like a renovated or a new library, a new home for their admissions office, improved signage, added access to satellite sites off of the main campus, along with boosts to both pedestrian and vehicular infrastructure. In turn, university leaders are seeking help from the municipal government as they determine the feasibility of their potential plans in terms of money, timing, and scope of work. The City Council expressed a desire to keep these talks going, as they were receptive to FSU officials approaching them early on in their process. The development of a new community center in Framingham is set to benefit from more than $3 million in federal aid. U.S. Representative Catherine Clark's office announced on Friday, February 27th, that over $12 million have been secured to benefit 15 projects across the 5th Massachusetts district. It's part of the Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development Appropriations Bill that was approved by both chambers of Congress in Washington and signed by President Trump last month. The dollars would benefit infrastructure and ADA accessibility at the site of the former Marion High School along Union Avenue. In a statement, Mayor Sisitsky said the allocation brings the project closer to becoming a reality, as work on factors such as the building's roof and windows continue. City Council members have urged other local officials to develop a preliminary budget and floor plan soon. Framingham COO Michael Tassino has explained that additional federal funding could expedite those developments, adding that a project outline is expected to be ready about 5 months from now. As always, more details on that and all of the other top stories we cover every week on the show can be found on our website, www.theframe.news. Log on to find full written articles, feature pieces we complete across the city, and a community calendar filled with upcoming events locally. Make sure that you're subscribed to our email newsletter as well, so that you're always up to date with Framingham News in Focus. A Framingham police officer with over 40 years of experience in law enforcement called it a career last Friday, the 27th. Officer Kathy McGrath retired officially last week as local leaders, officials, and residents commemorated her on social media, with thousands of interactions on the city's official Facebook announcement. After starting in Natick, McGrath joined the Framingham Police Department in 1987 before working in numerous roles. Perhaps her most notable job on the force was as a school resource officer at both Keefe Tech and within the Framingham Public School District. The City Council thanked her this week for her work with local students, while her colleagues paid homage to her on the local police scanner.
Officer McGrath is and always will be a Framingham police officer. Her dedication to the profession, the officers, and to the residents of the city of Framingham will be fondly remembered by all. On behalf of all of us at the Framingham Police, we wish Officer Kathy McGrath, badge number 218, a healthy and well-earned retirement.
A Framingham High School athlete secured her third All-State championship in wrestling this week. Junior Adriana DeGroat was victorious in the 138-pound class on Monday, March 2nd at the Mass Mutual Center in Springfield, as she became just the third wrestler to win the girls' All-State crown on 3 separate occasions. Next year, she could be the first in the state's history to do it 4 times. Until then, she and teammate Parker Robles, who walked away with a 4th-place finish, will be moving on to the New England Regional Tournament this weekend in Providence, Rhode Island. We wish them good luck in the tourney. More local news coverage is available on our social media accounts. Follow us on Instagram at @FrameNews_ and find us on Facebook by searching for The Frame. Subscribe to Access Framingham's channel on YouTube and hit the bell icon to get a notification whenever new content is published. Follow us on Spotify as well, where we post full Frame episodes for you to either watch or listen to. That will do it for this week's Framingham News in Focus. On behalf of the entire team here at The Frame, thanks for joining us. My name is Brendan Fitzpatrick. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.